Hi, class. This is Friday's English Help Guide for week 4. So I'm just going to talk you through what you've got to do for your home learning today. Let's have a look. So today we're going to be looking at different types of parenthesis. So parenthesis is the additional or extra information or an afterthought in our writing. There's lots of different ways that we can punctuate this. So it can be word, phrases or clauses marked with brackets, dashes or commas. When a parenthesis is removed, the sentence still makes grammatical sense. So like I previously mentioned, there are 3 possible ways to punctuate parenthesis. So let's have a look at the first way. So we can use a comma. We can use brackets, or we can use 2 dashes. You can see next there where I've written each of them an example of what they look like just to refresh your memory. So let's take a look at the brackets for parenthesis. So I've given an example here in blue. In the distance, the mountains were glaring down, towering high up into the sky, disappearing into the clouds above. You can see that I've put the brackets around towering high up into the sky. So I've got my open bracket and then my closed bracket at the end. Now, earlier I said that the sentence still needs to make grammatical sense without the brackets in there. So let's take a look and see. In the red, it says, in the distance, the mountains were glaring down, disappearing into the clouds above. You can see that I've taken the bracket out of that sentence and it still makes sense. So when we're creating our own sentences, we need to just make sure that it is additional information that we're putting inside the bracket. Okay, so now we're going to look at using dashes for parenthesis. So let's look at the example sentence that I've put in for you. He stepped out from the jungle, eyes wide and teeth gritted, and stood tall over me, casting an ominous shadow. You see in there that I've used the dashes for eyes wide and teeth gritted. So it's 2 dashes that we use for this, so they just replace the brackets that we looked at previously in the example. So let's see if it makes sense without the dashes in there. He stepped out from the jungle and stood tall over me, casting an ominous shadow. Yes, you see, it still makes sense. Even with the eyes wide and teeth gritted removed, the whole sentence still makes sense. So now let's have a little look at commas for parenthesis. So let's look at the example that I've got on here for you. Thin tendrils of vapour hung high in the air, as if the trees were holding their breath, waiting for dawn. In this, the extra information, additional information that we've been given for the commas is as if the trees were holding their breath. That's the extra information that I've used where I've put 2 commas in. So let's see if that makes sense if that wasn't there. Thin tendrils of vapour hung high in the air, waiting for the dawn. Yes, it makes sense without the additional information in there. So today, I would like you to create sentences in the first person as Amara using brackets, dashes or commas for parenthesis. So when you're writing as the first person, you're writing as if you are Amara. So what she saw, what she felt. Okay, it's from the first person. And we're going to do lots of different examples of sentences using brackets, sentences using dashes, and sentences using commas for parenthesis. And now remembering that the information that goes inside all of these is additional information. Once you've done that, I want you to evaluate which ones are effective and why. And again, if you have any questions about your learning, please join the 2 available Zoom sessions at 11:30 or 2:45. It'll be great to see you on there where we can help you and answer any of the questions, not just about your English, but any of the learning that's been sent home this week. I hope you have a lovely day and see you soon.